So that is round one of the 2016 Formula One season is complete, and what a belter we had. We had action right from the very start. We had action before the start even. Daniel Kvyat having problems on the formation lap. His car wouldn't move. They had to do a whole go round again, so 2 formation laps. In itself shouldn't be a big deal, but it caused Hamilton and Rosberg big problems. Apparently that extra time sitting on the grid caused their clutch to heat up and put them in a world of pain as soon as the lights went out in Albert Park. Right off the line, almost before the second corner, Hamilton was mugged by a whole bunch of people. Vettel, Raikkonen, Rosberg, Verstappen and Massa all getting the jump on Hamilton right at the very start of the race, and this set us up for a belter because now we have the best car with the best driver in 6th and having to come through the field, and this set us up for a really strong challenge. Rosberg also got taken by Raikkonen, so Rosberg is now down to 3rd before the first lap is even complete. One thing that was great about seeing this was seeing Vettel in that first stint, of seeing Vettel sort of almost return to old Red Bull Sebastian Vettel, leading from the front, trying to make a break, create a gap, and it was really nice to see this. Rosberg on lap 13 was the first of this group to go into the pits, and this kind of triggered everybody else to start looking at their strategy. Vettel came in to cover the undercut right after, and this is still all in the first stint up to lap 16 where Hamilton and Raikkonen pitted. Hamilton, the first person to switch onto the medium tyre from that leading group, so Mercedes decided that they needed to change Hamilton's strategy completely, put him on a one-stopper and try to go the rest of the race. The ones ahead had all gone to the soft tyres. This strategy may well have worked had one lap later a massive crash not have happened. Alonso clipped into the back of Gutierrez under braking and went spiralling out across the track, and car ended up upside down, carbon fibre everywhere, complete mess. Luckily, Alonso stood up and he was okay and he got out of the car and he wasn't hurt. This changed everything. This brought out the red flag for the race, so all the cars had to come into the pit lane and line up, and because parc fermé conditions didn't apply here, they were able to start making changes to the car, and this primarily meant tyre strategy. Both Ferraris went super soft, so they were playing an aggressive strategy here, and the 2 Mercedes went to the medium tyre. So now Rosberg and Hamilton are on the same strategy, going to the end of the race from lap 17 when this red flag occurred. So this was the order at the red flag. It was Vettel, Rosberg, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, the local boy, Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton and Massa. That's how the front of the grid was shaping up. And then again, the differing strategies between Ferrari and Mercedes. Now, after the red flag was removed and the race got underway, this sort of put us into the second stint of the race. And if there was a boring bit of the race, which I really don't think there was, this was kind of it. Not a huge amount happened here. Raikkonen went out with a small fire in his airbox. Vettel's tyres started to go off. There was a bit of a battle between the Toro Rossos and Jolyon Palmer, which was great to see. I thought Palmer, especially in his first race, his rookie season, he defended really confidently and really maturely here, so I think there's promise for him for the future. On lap 35, Vettel's tyres were going away. He hadn't managed to make a decent enough break over Rosberg, so he had to come into pit to get out ahead of Hamilton. So yeah, Vettel came into pit on lap 35. From there, the race kind of played out as you might expect. The back of that top 10 kept fighting with each other, from Grosjean and Hulkenberg, Bottas, the 2 Toro Rossos. There was some really great action there. Verstappen, I thought especially, he was on the radio giving out loads to the team, let me pass. So I think that the battle between Sainz and Verstappen for the rest of the season is going to be an absolute cracker to watch. Grosjean, who held on and managed to stay leading that group and even make a little bit of time towards the end of the race, held on for 6th, which is a massive result for Haas F1. Far beyond, I'm sure, what their wildest expectations were. A really excellent drive for them. And the rest of it was then Massa, who had a bit of a quiet race. Ricciardo as well, who had a bit of a quiet race as well. Not up to much, but a great result for the local boy there. And then Vettel, Hamilton and Rosberg won it. Worth also calling out is 11 and 12. That was Palmer and Magnussen. That Renault showed some good pace. I think it's a good car. I think there's quite a bit to come from them this season. The main points, the headlines, if you will, from this race, what we've learned about the new season. 3 tyre compounds is good. We thought maybe this is going to be a bit of a gimmick like the qualifying setup that didn't work perfectly, but it's not. It was really entertaining. Different cars on different strategies. Didn't know how it was all going to work out, but it ended up giving us a thrilling race. Haas F1, that's a great car. I know it's a bit of a Ferrari junior team, but it's still a fantastic car. Speaking of Ferrari, it looks like that Mercedes are still the best, but Ferrari can compete as well. During some of those stints, the Ferraris, especially in the first stint, it looked like Ferrari had the measure of Mercedes anyway. I think Mercedes is still the better car on balance, but I think Ferrari are going to compete. And I think one of the main things is that despite the fact that Hamilton is probably still the best driver on the grid, he's not bulletproof. He fluffed the start and it may have been a bit mechanical, but it still gives me a bit of hope that maybe we can have a real competitive season this year and Hamilton and Rosberg can challenge each other for the championship, maybe even Sebastian Vettel getting in there as well. Next race is in Bahrain in a couple of weeks, so tune in for that. But in the meantime, subscribe to this channel for more Formula One news.